The badge does not open the door, it turns red. For 1 second, the corridor stays silent. Then every light above you dies at the same time. You stand beneath Site 19 with a sealed folder in your hands, watching steel shutters drop across both ends of the hallway. The intercom clicks. Unauthorized access attempt detected. You look down. Your name is printed on the folder. You have never seen it before. Then something knocks from the other side of the locked door. 3 times. Pause. 3 times. A guard rounds the corner, sees your red badge, and raises his weapon. Do not move! You do not. The folder opens by itself. The first page says, Candidate approved for confidential clearance. That is how the Foundation promotes you. Not with trust, with a test you did not know you were taking. Clearance Level 1, confidential. The first file you are allowed to read is mostly black bars. Names redacted, dates redacted, locations redacted. Even the object number is partially hidden, which feels unfair because apparently the Foundation can hide a number and still expect you to file it correctly. Your supervisor places a coffee beside your keyboard. Welcome to Confidential. At Clearance Level 1, you're allowed to know the first official truth. Anomalies exist. The Foundation contains them. The public cannot know. That is all. And somehow that is enough to ruin the ordinary world forever. Your job is simple: witness reports, incident summaries, medical cover stories, amnestic forms. You do not see the anomalies, you see what they leave behind: a missing hour in a police report, a hallway that appears on camera but not on the building map, a farmer insisting his scarecrow walked across the field at 2:13 a.m. and politely returned to its post. You laugh at that one. Your supervisor says, check if it was facing east, and you stop laughing. That is the first SCP lesson. Anything can be funny until someone opens the case file. Then a mistake happens, and a file appears in your queue without redactions. Thumbnail begins loading at the top in a pale shape, a narrow room, a face turned slightly away from the camera. Your hand freezes. Something inside your body understands before your mind does. Do not look. A senior clerk crosses the room and slams your monitor off. Nobody asks what you saw. That is worse. They only ask how much. 6 hours later, medical clears you for return to duty. The file is gone. So is the clerk who saved you from seeing it. When you ask where he went, your supervisor says, transferred. Inside the Foundation, transferred can mean many things. Almost none are comforting. That night, a new folder appears on your desk. This one has fewer black bars. The heading is visible, SCP-173. The first line says, personnel must maintain direct line of sight. Under it, someone has written, congratulations. You are now allowed to blink professionally. Level 2, clearance. Level 2, restricted. The chamber door opens, and everyone stops pretending they are calm. 3 guards enter first, then the containment specialist, then you. The room smells like concrete, bleach, and old fear. In the center stands SCP-173. Still. Silent. Wrong. At Clearance Level 2, you receive restricted access. That means you are allowed to know more about anomalies directly tied to your work. In normal language, the Foundation has decided you are useful enough to stand closer to the thing that can kill you. For SCP-173, the rule is simple. Look. Do not stop looking. A guard says blinking. Another answers, clear. The first guard blinks. Nothing happens. That is somehow worse, because now your body understands the rule works only while everyone keeps respecting it. Your eyes burn. Your brain whispers terrible suggestions. Just blink quietly. Just look away for half a second. Just trust the others. You do not. That is why you survive. Level 2 teaches you the first fan truth that actually matters. Safe does not mean safe. Euclid does not mean medium danger. Cater does not mean evil. Object class is not how scary something feels. It is how hard the Foundation thinks it is to keep the door closed. Then SCP-096 training begins. No photographs, no videos, no drawings, no reflections. No, just one frame. The instructor never shows the face, he only shows the procedures around not seeing it. That is enough, and a blank screen becomes terrifying when everyone in the room refuses to look comfortable near it. During one shift, a junior technician opens the wrong archive file. The screen flashes for less than a second. He says he saw nothing. You believe him. The system does not. The room locks down. Medical escorts him out under visual exposure procedure. He looks at you like you betrayed him. Maybe you did. At level 2, procedure begins replacing empathy. Not because you stop feeling, because feeling has no checkbox. Then, during a night shift, every light turns red. Your terminal flashes. Temporary level 3. Access granted. A door opens behind you, Frank. From inside, something speaks in your voice. Open the door. I made it out. You're standing in the hallway, so whatever is inside is lying. Level 3. Clearance. Level 3. Secret. The voice behind the door knows your name, then your mother's name, then something you never told anyone at Site 19. The guard beside you reaches for the manual release, like you grab his wrist. His partner is behind that door or something wearing his partner's voice. At clearance level 3, you receive secret access. This is where the Foundation stops treating you like someone who only follows instructions. Now, it expects you to make decisions while instructions are still loading. The breach file says the entity mimics voices and learns from radio traffic. That is Foundation language. What it means is this. It sounds like someone you cannot afford to abandon. The trapped guard begs for help. He says the door is crushing him. He says, please. Protocol requires thermal confirmation, badge telemetry, and command approval. Thermal is unclear. Badge telemetry is corrupted. Command is busy trying to keep the West Wing from becoming a rumor. You keep the door closed for 4 minutes. Everyone hates you. Then the real missing guard is found unconscious 2 corridors away. The voice behind the door stops begging. It starts laughing. Nobody speaks after that. At level 3, you learn that being right does not feel good. It only prevents a worse report. Secret clearance opens deeper files, breach protocols, MTF summaries, Keter-related incident reviews, selected SCP-682 reports. Not all of them. Enough. Enough to understand why an old captain says, you do not kill 682, you postpone the next disappointment. Someone laughs. Someone else says, do not joke about the lizard. The room goes quiet. You begin making decisions that follow you home. You authorize lockdowns, recommend amnestics, classify witnesses as unrecoverable because their memories keep rebuilding details after treatment. The phrase unrecoverable witness sounds clean on paper. It does not feel clean in your head. Then a simulation test places you in charge of a breach. You seal 3 doors, deny 2 access requests, save the site. The report says you pass. It also says 24 personnel remain trapped behind the barriers you closed. The evaluator hands you a black folder, no title, no object number, only 2 words, top secret. Inside is a map of Site 19. The first red circle marks the part of the facility designed to be lost. Level 4 begins when you realize some doors are not built to protect people. They are built to decide which people stop counting. Level 4, clearance level 4, top secret. The self-termination plan is written calmly. That is the part that stays with you, not the charges, not the gas systems, not the blast doors sealing in the wrong direction. The calm. At clearance level 4, you receive top secret access, senior administration, site command, strategic containment data. The kind of truth that cannot be fixed by one memory wipe. At level 4, the Foundation becomes honest. Not morally honest, structurally honest. You learn what the building is willing to do to itself to keep the world alive. Your briefings change. They no longer ask, is the object contained? They ask, how long will it hold? Who knows? Who needs to forget? Which hostile group might already know? Which department is lying? Your first top secret review involves possible SCP-096 media exposure. A researcher opens a corrupted archive frame. The system cannot confirm whether the face was visible. Only 0.8 seconds. Only maybe. Inside the Foundation, maybe is enough to ruin a life. Medical recommends isolation. Research argues he is essential. Security recommends full quarantine. The researcher keeps saying he saw nothing. You believe him. The problem is belief has never been a containment procedure. You approve quarantine. He does not shout. He only stares at you like he is memorizing the person who ended his ordinary future with one sentence. At level 4, signatures become weapons. You deny research projects, approve lockdown drills, seal incident reports because the public version of truth would create panic, exploitation, and 5 conspiracy channels accidentally getting too close. You also learn another truth. Clearance is not a video game keycard. Level 4 does not open everything. The Foundation trusts compartments, not ladders. You can read one Keter file and still be denied a safe class file because it connects to something above you. The denial screen becomes familiar. Access denied. Compartmental clearance required. You are powerful, trusted, senior command, and still the system says not for you. Then at 3:17 a.m. your office locks down. No alarm, no warning, your terminal turns black, biometric confirmation required. Then again, then a third time, one word appears. Thaumiel. Under it, some anomalies are not contained because they threaten the world. Some are contained because the world depends on them. Level 5 begins when the Foundation stops showing you what it fears and starts showing you what it uses. Level 5, Clearance. Level 5, Thaumiel. The highest clearance does not come with a ceremony. It comes with a medical check, a psychological evaluation, a memory integrity scan, and a woman in a black suit asking whether you understand that some knowledge cannot be safely removed once acquired. You ask what happens if you refuse. She closes the folder. Then you were never level 5. At clearance level 5, you receive Thaumiel access, the highest official clearance level, the level where containment stops meaning separation. Sometimes the anomaly is the lock, sometimes the anomaly is the wall. Sometimes the Foundation keeps something alive because destroying it would remove the only thing stopping a worse ending. That is the horror of Thaumiel. It is not good, it is useful, and useful things are the hardest to judge. Your first Thaumiel file concerns global continuity. The document references reconstruction protocols, civilization failure scenarios, and historical events that official history says never happened. Then you see a date you remember. An ordinary day. Rain. Breakfast, a delayed meeting. A phone call from someone you had not spoken to in years. The file says the world required correction that day. The file says public memory stabilized. You sit very still. No monster behind glass, no breach alarm. Only a document suggesting your memory may be a successful containment outcome. That is, level 5, fear, not death, context. You read files that feel less like reports and more like confessions, anomalies used to stabilize other anomalies, systems designed to preserve reality. Projects that exist because the Foundation has already seen endings it refuses to let humanity remember. Below this level, everyone thinks the next level contains the full truth. Level 1 thinks Level 2 knows. Level 2 thinks Level 3 understands. Level 3 thinks Level 4 sees the real map. Level 4 thinks Level 5 sees the whole board. At Level 5, you discover the board has missing squares on purpose. No one knows everything, not because the Foundation lacks records, because total knowledge is itself a containment risk. Years pass, your office becomes smaller, quieter, deeper underground. People with Level 4 clearance lower their voices when you enter. You think power will feel like access. It does not. It feels like becoming a container no one can safely open. Then a new personnel file appears on your terminal. Confidential clearance candidate, record support, Site 19, strong pattern recognition, previous exposure incident resolved. You open the live feed. A new employee stands in a corridor wearing a badge that has just turned green for the first time. They look nervous, curious, still human in a way the Foundation has not trained out of them yet. A door opens. They step forward. They think clearance means answers. You know better. It is the beginning of containment. Theirs. yours, everyone's, and somewhere deep inside Site 19, a locked chamber makes a sound like concrete scraping against concrete. The recruit turns toward it. Curiosity wins for half a second. That is all the Foundation ever needs. The door closes behind them, and the first clearance level begins again.